Hey guys, it's Kat and I am back today with another midnight filming session, almost midnight filming session, to talk about my empties. This is my 7th empties video of the year and it's going to be my final. So I am going to recap all the products I used up, not quite all, but almost all the products I used up this year as well. So at the end, after I go through the last sort of 2 months worth of products I've used up and let you know what I think about them, I will also sort of run through sort of categories at the end and give you a total of how many products I roughly used up. So that's exciting. I'm excited for that. So let's dig into these and then do the recap. So if you're not familiar with what an empties video is, essentially I just go through the sort of beauty products I've used up in the last couple months, and after I've used them up, I give you a bit of a review and let you know if I would repurchase it or not based on my experience using it up entirely. I think this is a really good way to do sort of mini reviews because sometimes you see people that's like used a product once or twice and they have these really strong feelings about them, which I know you can with products, but I feel like once you've used it up, you've really solidified how you feel about the product. Sometimes it changes. So that's what we're doing today. All right, first thing, I'm just going to pull out something that's really funky and gross at the bottom. I'm not sure if you can see, there's some goop there. It's gross. This is the Kate Somerville Cold Cream. So essentially this is like, it's essentially like a thick lotion type product, but you use it to remove your makeup. So it's a really old school technique. You can use this with any really thick sort of basic moisturizers. You put it on, work it into your makeup on your dry face, and it breaks down the makeup and then you wash it off. So that's what this is. I liked it. I think it's a good product. Kate Somerville prices are too expensive, so I wouldn't repurchase this. Also, I prefer a cleansing oil. I just found that this wasn't as effective as a cleansing oil, or it was as effective as an oil removing the makeup. So the end result was you have a clean face. But I just found that you had to work it into your makeup a bit more to get it sort of emulsifying and sort of breaking down the makeup. So I did enjoy it. I did like it. I probably wouldn't repurchase it because I prefer an oil. And if I was to repurchase a cold cream, probably wouldn't be from Kate Somerville. You can get sort of cheap ones. It's a step that you use to remove your makeup. It doesn't need to be crazy nourishing. Another thing I wouldn't repurchase, this is from Soap & Glory. It's the No Woman, No Dry Body Butter. This is, I think, their most recent scent for like the summer season. I didn't like it. It was just too strong and it was too, there's a fruity element to it, which sort of sometimes reminded me of like fruit juice, but then it's got like a heavy sort of musk undertone. And I just didn't like it. I found that it was one of those sort of products that you put on, it bombards you with scent, and it's not particularly, in my opinion, a really great scent. I like fresh scents. This is almost the equivalent of, I don't know, like, this is going to sound really dramatic. It doesn't smell like rotten fruit, but, get this out of my face. But I do find that sort of those overripe fruits sort of, I don't like the smell of them. I don't like the taste of overripe fruit. And this sort of gives me that sort of vibe. It just reminds me of like overripe fruit with like a musky, weird thing. And the body butter was fine. I just didn't like that whenever I used this, it sort of like permeated my clothes. It lasted until I washed it off, like the scent. I felt like the scent lasted more than the lotion did. So yeah, I wouldn't repurchase this. I wasn't a fan. I used up 2 candles from Glass House. I love them both, and I very much like them. Glass House is my favorite candle company, so it's not surprising that I've actually got, I think, 3 of them open at the moment, so this is not a surprise. Casablanca was the Velvet Musk and Bergamot. This was from a couple of years ago now. It's a limited edition. I think it was Mother's Day a couple of years ago. I really like this. It sort of smells like burnt wick at the moment, so I feel like I can't really give you a good vibe of what it was, but it had like a pink grapefruit sort of fresh sort of citrusy scent to it, which I really liked. And I like this holographic sort of design on the packaging. So it's got like a geometric design and it's got like a holographic sort of overlay on it. And I definitely will clean this out and use this. I generally use these for like earrings, like storing jewelry or earrings, and I'll do that with this one, definitely. And I actually think I swapped the lids. So the lids are wrong. This is the old packaging and this is the newer packaging. So this one was holidays last year. It was called Merry and Bright and the description was pineapple mint fizz. I really like this one. I only used this up recently and it had like a definitely pineapple mint scent. This is going to be very Australian centric, so forgive me, but it smelled like Bo Peep lollies from Darrell. So I liked it. It reminded me of my childhood. It was fresh. It wasn't too strong, but it did permeate the house. So it gave a nice fresh scent to the house, but it wasn't like a really like heavy sort of nauseating scent, if that makes sense. So yeah, these are both limited edition. I like them. I would repurchase them. In fact, this was my second. I actually had gone through one of these previously. So yeah, like them, would repurchase, but they're limited edition. I used up 3 products from the same brand, so I'll talk about them all at the same time. This is from Davines. So my hairdresser friend, who's also a subscriber, Madeline, likes to give me some of these to try out, and I'm very appreciative. She's been looking after my hair for a while, so love her. And these I loved. These were really, really good. So these are from the Natural Tech Plumping Shampoo and Plumping Conditioner range. I enjoyed them. I think out of the types of shampoos and stuff that I've tried from Davines, this is probably my favorite. I like the scent for one. I'm a big scent person. If a scent is bad, even if the product's good, I sort of makes me not want to use it because scent for me is quite important. This had like a fresh lemon fizz kind of sherbet type scent to it. So it had like a fizz to it, which I really liked. It was really refreshing. I like the shampoo. I like the conditioner. It is replumping, so it's supposed to be elasticizing and hydrating for all hair types. One thing I liked about these was they clean your hair well, but they don't weigh it down and they don't make it look frizzy. So I find that I have quite wavy hair. It's hidden away at the moment, but I have quite sort of wavy hair that can lean very frizzy, or it can go very limp if I use something that like defrizzes. So I like to look for things that don't emphasize the frizz but keep the volume and the lightness. That's just what I prefer, and these were really good. So clean your hair but doesn't weigh down your hair and it feels nice and light. I would repurchase these, and they lasted ages. Like they took me ages to use. I really do like these. I also used the OI body wash. So this is from the OI range. I really like the OI hair oil. I'm currently using that. I've been using that for ages. So this was like a gel cleanser, but it was quite thick and it had a lot of oils and it was quite nourishing. So I did like it. Couple of things I didn't love and probably wouldn't repurchase because there were elements that I didn't love. Firstly, I don't like that it doesn't come with a pump or an easy dispensing mechanism, because pouring like shower gel in the shower or body wash in the shower, not my favorite way to dispense things. I found that I over applied a lot because it was just relying on this thick stuff to pour out. Also the scent, it's like a powdery, yeah, like a baby powdery kind of scent. It's quite unisex, but also quite strong. And I don't dislike it. I just didn't love it. If it had like this scent, all right. But even if it had this lid where you can sort of control how much you get out, better than just pouring. So for me, there were a couple of things that just made this a little bit inconvenient, but it was a nice product and I do like the OI range in general. Oh, I used up 3 body scrubs this month, or last 2 months, which is a lot. So this is the Nature Republic Love Me Bubble Sugar Body Scrub in the scent Floral Bouquet. So I got this from YesStyle and I didn't have, it was fine. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't shit. It was just fine. And I think for just fine, I wouldn't repurchase it. I used up the Soul Body Sugar Polish. So this is from the sister brand to Colourpop. It's their body range. I actually really liked this. I hated it at the start. I absolutely hated it at the start, and I came around to it. So at the start, because this is such a dense scrub and it's in a tube and the hole is fairly small, I couldn't get it out. To save my life, I could not get it out. I was like squeezing it and I was almost like standing on it, and it was like it was clogged at the hole. It just wouldn't come out. Then what I learned was if you keep it in the shower for a while and it sort of warms up, it's easier to flow out. And then once I got that first, must have stored it like this, and like a lot of the sugar or whatever it was, salt, sugar. Yeah, it's a sugar body polish. The sugar must have, like, I don't know, hardened down the bottom and was really hard to get out. But once I got it out, I liked this. I used it up really fast. I would like them to bring out big tubs of these. I also like the scent. It is a little bit tropical and a bit coconut, sort of pina colada type scent. I don't like coconut, but this was a nice balanced scent that I did like it. It was sort of like, oh, fruity, sort of summery, and we're in summer at the moment. So I did enjoy using this. I think out of the scrubs that I'm talking about, I like the density and the consistency and whatever of this. I just didn't like the application method, but once you get over the initial hurdle of getting it out, I enjoyed it. I used it up really fast. If I was placing an order for Soul Body or Colourpop, I'd probably chuck one of those in because I did like it. The last scrub was this one. This is the Raise the Bar Orange Coffee Scrub. This was also a gift from Madeline, so thank you very much, Madeline. I did enjoy using this. So this was a solid coffee scrub. So it's in like a, it was almost like a, I don't want to say a soap because it wasn't in a soap form. It was more like in a oil, a solid body oil format. So it was essentially, I don't know, I'll put a photo on the screen, but it was essentially a coffee soap bar thing. Super jam-packed with coffee scrubs, which is good. And the good thing about it as well, these are sort of recycled coffee grounds. So they don't use brand new coffee grounds. They use ones that have been already used at cafes and whatnot, and they taking the leftovers and using it in this, which I think is a great way to recycle. It's in a cardboard box, so it's recyclable. There's no waste, which I really am sort of quite, because I use up a lot of products and I consume a lot, I am getting a lot more aware, and I've got a baby now, so I'm very like aware of how much waste I create. So this was really, really good. My only issue with it was that because it was like a massage bar with oils, I didn't love that on my oily skin. I think this would have been cooler as a soap. So if it like suds up your body as well as exfoliating, great. But I did like it. I did enjoy it. They do say use it 2 to 3 times a week. I think I used it more than that. Yeah, so I liked this, but it wasn't like perfect in my opinion, but I do like it. Used up a Daiso Puff and Sponge Cleaner, or technically Puff Sponge Detergent. I've got heaps of these. I bought a whole box of them from Daiso, so I just keep going through them. I literally used up 1.5 when I was washing my brushes the other week, last week I think it was. I lost some of my Project Pan products. I thought maybe it went in my dirty brush container, so I spent all evening washing brushes to find these products, and I used 1.5 bottles of this. So I do like this. It works really well on sponges. It works really well on brushes. The only limitation would be if you've got really fancy natural hair brushes, it may dry them out a bit. So just be mindful of that. But yeah, super cheap, small bottle. So if you've got a lot of cleaning to do, you can go through this really, really quickly. 80 mils, not enough, but they are only, what is it, $2.80 or something in Australia. So you can't complain too much. And obviously I repurchased that because I have a whole box of them. So there you go. Body products. Okay, jojoba. This is the jojoba company, 100% natural Australian jojoba oil. Oops, a daisy. And I use this on my body. I've even got a mini one. I don't know if it's a different one or just a different bottle, but I've got one that I'm using on my face. Isn't it weird that when it's in a big bottle, I assume it's for the body? When it's in a small bottle, I assume it's for the face? You can use it either, like it's fine. But this says it's nourishes and moisturizes skin, hair, and nails. So you can use it as a daily moisturizer to soothe the appearance of skin. I mainly use this on my body. I did like it. It was nourishing. I like jojoba oil. I like the jojoba company, jojoba oil. And I do have another one of these in a smaller bottle. So there we go. I like it. I would repurchase it. I used up a lotion from Pixi. This is the Hydrating Milky Lotion. I did get sent the range of these, and I had mixed feelings about the range. I love the cleanser. It's in my shower. I use it pretty much every day. And then there's a few other things that I quite like. There's a makeup remover that I don't use too often because I use cleansing oil, but it was really effective. The one thing I didn't really like was this lotion. They do say it's for face and body, and they're saying it's a moisturizer, which yeah, it is. But on the face, it just feels like a thin lotion. And I feel like I associate that with body. So I use this up on my body because it was too thin and didn't feel like it was nourishing enough for what I need for my maturing skin as a face moisturizer. So as soon as I applied this and I'm like, oh, I feel like I should be putting this on my arms, I stopped using it on my face and I started using it on my body. So I use this up as a body moisturizer. I wouldn't spend pixie money on a body moisturizer. I just feel like it's not worth it. You can just go down to the shops and get, I don't know, Jergens or something, and it works just as well, or if not better, and is cheaper. So I wouldn't repurchase this, but other products in this Milky range I do really like. Oh, the spray, the finishing spray, beautiful. I would highly recommend that. Highly recommend the cleanser, not so much the lotion. All right, I've just pulled out a lot of smaller things and I'll put away the bigger things because whatever. Smaller things, some of these or most of these are from my Project Pan. So I did a check-in last video, I think it was, and I will do similar to what I'm doing in this video where I go through and do a recap of the products used up. I will do a recap of my Project Pan products that I used up as well, but a lot of these are Project Pan, so I wanted to make that clear. I used up the Bioeffect, I don't know if you can see it, white on white. This is the OSA Water Mist or OSA Water Mist. I didn't like the packaging of this. I did explain in my Project Pan that I couldn't get the very bottom, like the last bits of it, so there's a little bit left, because this is the type of spray that, firstly it's leaking everywhere, which is gross, but it's the type of spray that only has, I wonder if I can open it up. No, it doesn't actually have like a tube that goes all the way down and picks up product from the bottom, and that's essentially how you use it. You can store it up like this, but you use it by spraying it this way. It relies on you like pumping out the air in this for the liquid to rise up and hit the top and dispense through the mister. That's all great, all well and good, but this doesn't, no matter what you do, come on, no matter what you do, you don't get all the air out. Like you have to pump this for like 15 minutes to get all the air out, to get the product that's down the bottom. And then when you actually do get to the product, if you can be bothered, which I can't, it ends up filling up with air again once you've finished using it. So by the next time you're reaching for it, you have to go through the process again. Of course, you can sort of squeeze out the air and give it a go, or try to hold it upside down and pump it like this, but I can't be fucked. And I feel like Bioeffect, I really, really like their, what's it called? EGF serum. I really like that product. It's a one and done skincare product. It's very expensive. Is available at Priceline in Australia in some Priceline stores. So if you see skincare 40 to 50% off, I recommend picking it up then, because it's like 100 and something bucks, like nearly 200 bucks. It's a lot of money for the serum. But the little bottle of serum, you literally use like 2 or 3 drops. You put it on bare skin, so after you've washed your face, you put it on, and that's all you need to use. It's a serum, moisturizer, all in one, and it does really good things for the skin. So Bioeffect, great for their EGF serum. I think it's a fantastic product. I highly recommend it if you can be bothered using it the correct way and can be bothered spending the money on it. I find I've seen some negative reviews about it, but people use it like a serum under a moisturizer and it doesn't work the same. You have to use it on its own just after you've washed your face and nothing else to go with it. So that's the key thing. It's got to be at night. So if you do it the right way, it's a great product. The other things I've tried from the range, man, I look oily. Gross. Lighting, it's nighttime, it's dark, whatever, it's gross. The rest of the products from the range, I don't think they're worth the price tag. This is a very, very expensive brand, and they're very innovative, and they also, I think they're like carbon neutral, which is great. So there's good things about them. I just feel like I wouldn't spend the money on a basic mist when there's problems with the packaging and it is so expensive. So there you go. I have one of these in my cupboard. I just noticed it the other day. So I'm gonna use another one, but not in love with it. All right. Foundations. I used up 2 foundations. These were in my Project Pan and they've been in my Project Pan since I think January. So this is the Hourglass Vanish Seamless Finish Liquid Foundation. This is too dark for me. It's in the shade Natural, and it's not necessarily too dark. I think it's just too orange toned for me. So it did take me all year to use it up. You can see my check-ins there. It's very full coverage. I feel like this foundation is a bit temperamental. Depending on your skin type and depending on how you apply it, you're going to get good results or bad results. I've heard people with dry skin hate this. If you've got issues with makeup settling into creases or lines, you're going to hate this. I have heard people with slightly oilier skin like this. I like it, but I don't love it, if that makes sense. The best way to use this, really dense, like kabuki brush, small amount, and buff it in, really thin layer. It gives you really high coverage, so you can buff it in a lot and use the smallest amount and still get good coverage. And yeah, if you set it, it sort of wears fairly well. So I don't mind it. It's just a bit finicky. If you over apply it or apply it wrong or apply it on top of a primer or a moisturizer that it doesn't like, it can not look the best. So I don't love this. I do have one in a different shade. I sent it in PR, so I will still have another one in my collection. But I've since found better foundations that are also high coverage, but wear better and sort of sit better on me. So I probably wouldn't repurchase this. I did mix it with this Missha Perfect Cover BB cream, and they worked perfectly together. So this was a BB cream, it was light coverage, it was quite dewy. This was matte finish, high coverage. This had like a gray brown cast on me. This had a sort of peachy orangey cast. Together, they neutralized each other. They made a really perfect sort of medium coverage, natural finish. So not too dewy, not too matte. Foundation, I loved them together, but I wouldn't repurchase them individually. This was not enough coverage to cover my redness. If I did build it up, I looked grey because the tone is just not great for me. And the tone here is 23 Natural Beige. I heard it's really great for neutralizing yellow tones, but because I do have like pink tones and redness on my face, it just made me look dead. So yeah, I like them together. Individually, I wouldn't repurchase them. All right, I used up this Ole Henriksen Banana Bright Face Primer. This is just like a little mini size from, I think, a travel pack. I didn't mind this. I wouldn't repurchase it only because I feel like it was a bit too thick and a little bit too heavy under my makeup. I do have oily skin. I do moisturize every day. I put sunscreen on every day. I generally put some sort of serum underneath my moisturizer. So I've got a few layers going on anyway. Putting a thick sort of moisturizing sort of base on under my makeup was just a little bit too much. So yeah, for that reason, I wouldn't repurchase this, but it does say it can be worn alone, under makeup, or dabbed on top of makeup as a highlight. I disagree with that. But if you have very dry skin, you might like this because it is quite nourishing. And if you want to use it to like rehydrate areas, go for your life, it would just move my makeup around. So would not repurchase this, but I do like Ole Henriksen. I think they're a good brand. Used up a Rimmel Stay Matte powder. I think I used up one of these last month as well. So I had them in my Project Pan, and this is just the shade Transparent. In my time, I've probably used like 20 of these, and I think this was the last one in my collection. When I used to see them on sale, like 50% off, back in the day, I used to buy a few of them, and they used to last me like a year, and then I would do the same thing when I see another 50% off. Whereas as I've been getting older, these don't work as well for me. So these are your sort of cheap and nasty mattifying powders. So the benefits of this is that it doesn't add much coverage when it's setting your base, it does mattify the skin, and it does keep your makeup set pretty much all day. But what happens is that when you get a bit older and you've got a lot more skin texture and a lot more sort of skin concerns when it comes to like pores and blah, 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 and da, 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 I feel like this doesn't do the skin any benefits. It sort of doesn't blur over the skin and sort of hide some of the lines that other sort of more refined powders will do. That's what higher end powders do. Because this is Rimmel and it's super cheap, this is more for your teenage, sort of early 20s, just want to mattify your skin, set your base. So it definitely has a place. It's just doesn't have a place in my makeup collection anymore. So even though I've used 20 of them, I won't repurchase that. All right, this has no branding on it, so I don't know the style. I don't know. This is from Ella Cosmetics. They launched some lashes. I think there was about 6 styles, and they all come in this sort of case. Now, again, there's no branding on this. I don't know why they didn't put at least a stamp of their name or the style. I think there's a missed opportunity there, so I can't actually talk about the style. But this is, it's a set of lashes. I think what I ended up doing, because they were quite large lashes, I might put a photo on the screen. I cut them into 3 parts and I use them as little like outer corner accents, because that's how I like to use my lashes. So yeah, they were good for that. They did wear, I did use them multiple times. So they are synthetic, vegan, cruelty-free, whatever. So that's great. What I didn't like about these is they are quite expensive. I was sent the range from Ella Cosmetics. I love Ella Cosmetics sponges. I use a lot of their brushes, but when it came to the lashes, I just found the price point to be too high for synthetic. Look, you're not going to buy animal hair lashes, so that's fine. But other lashes I like to buy are in like the under $5 or $6, and I buy a whole bunch of them. These were more like, I think, going on 20 bucks, I think. And I feel like most of it was the packaging. Now, I am probably going to keep this and just use it as a lash case, which is great in a sense that it doesn't have the branding, because I can do that. But my issue is that they should sell the lashes like half the price without this packaging. So if you buy this once, you can just buy the refills. I feel like spending money and buying this sort of hefty plastic packaging each time is very, very wasteful, both to your pocket and also to the environment. So I don't love that about this, but the lashes were quite nice. So there you go. That's my honest opinion at midnight. Midnight review. There you go. All right, I used a bunch of serums. I don't have too much to say about all of them. Drunk Elephant Bee Hydra Intensive Hydration Serum. That was in a little like gift pack. This is just a hydrating hyaluronic acid serum. It was fine. Nothing amazing. Wouldn't purchase or spend. I feel like Drunk Elephant are way too overhyped and overpriced, so I wouldn't buy it again. But it was a fine product. The V10 Plus Vitamin C Serum. I didn't see any great results. It was so tiny. I think the premise of these is there's a whole range of them, and you're supposed to sort of pick a few that work for your skin concerns, and you sort of mix them. So you use a small amount of each and you sort of tailor your own serum, I believe. But that is just the vitamin C version, and I didn't see any great like brightening results or anything. It was whatever. This is the Napoleon Purtis. Oh, it's actually cracked. Oh, that is what was, wow. So this is actually a little glass. It's got a plastic label all around it. So I thought this was just plastic. It's obviously glass that is cracked. Oh, is that where the glass in the baby room came from? Napoleon Purtis. Gotcha. I had my makeup desk and all this kind of stuff in my baby's playroom, and I decided to move it all out, and the other day I found a little shard of glass and I was really confused, but now I should look for more because there might be more. So that's disappointing for one. But the other thing that was disappointing about this, so this is the Napoleon Purtis Skin Renewal Snail Serum. This, when I opened it up, was half full, and it's supposed to expire in 2 years' time, 18 months' time from now, and it was like half filled. So I decided to use this in my Project Pan. It didn't take very long. I think I used this for like 2 weeks and it was done, and I didn't see any great results. I'm going to chuck this in the bin because I don't want this glass getting anywhere else. Yeah, I wasn't a fan. Out of those serums, probably the best one that I just finished using, I think last night, this is the Bybi, B-Y-B-I, Bybi Strawberry Booster. So it's made out of 100% cold pressed strawberry seed oil. It just worked like a rosehip oil, and I liked it. This little tiny bottle, I didn't think it was going to last me very long. I've been using it for maybe a month, 6 weeks now. You can get it at Sephora in Australia. So this was only 15 mils, and I guess if you were a little bit more frugal with it, you could get it to last a lot longer, or if you wanted to add a couple of drops to your moisturizer, you could do that. I like using face oils like a whole dropper full at a time, so it didn't go as far as I'd like it to, but I did like it. It was quite greasy and it was oily, but I do think it nourished the skin and left the skin sort of nice and radiant. So I did like this. I used it at night. Sometimes I use it during the day under my makeup, and I've got oily skin, but I do use oil quite frequently. So my skin's used to oil. So I liked it. There we go. All right, I use this lash glue. You're not going to see it, but I'll put links in the description box. So if you want to see close-ups of any of these, I will, leave links in the description box. You can have a look. This is the DUP or D-Up Eyelash Fixer EX. It's essentially Korean lash glue. I really liked it. It lasted me ages. I only stopped using it because it was getting a bit gluggy, but it was a translucent lash glue. Worked well. My lashes never fell off, so that's great. Would repurchase this. I got it in Japan, so if I saw it again, would repurchase, but yeah, I liked it. Oh my God, I've got eyeliners to talk about, and one is it's the thing of the week that has really pissed me off. It's my own fault. It's my own fault. It's my own fault, but I'm very mad at myself about it, and I am going to miss it. So this is an eyeliner from Stila. It is the Smudge Stick Waterproof Eyeliner in Vivid Smoky Quartz. So it's a dark brown. I loved using this on my waterline. Sometimes I'd smudge it on my lash line. I really liked it. Anyway, I was looking for products to introduce into my project pan next year. And I thought this one's a great one because it's one of my favorite eyeliners to use. I use it all the time. It's a twist up. It's easy to mark. You can see how much progress you're making. Great. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Great color. Matches my lashes really well. And it just isn't as dark as black, but it gives that sort of defined look. Everything's great about it. Doesn't smudge or move too much on my eyes. I reach for it very, very often. It is one of my most reached for eyeliners. So I decide, I look at it and I'm like, oh yeah, you can twist it up and twist it down. Cool. It's retractable. I'm going to look at it, see how much product I have in it, twist it all the way up, and I was like, oh, there's quite a lot. It's going to take me a long time to get through this, but I'm going to have a great time doing it, so I'm going to put it in my project pan next year. Went to wind it down. I realized it's non-retractable, but it is retractable to a point. So if you twist it up a little bit, you can twist it down a little bit, but if you twist it up all the way, you can't twist it down. So I broke this and I couldn't get it back down, and I wasted this much of a liner, and I'm very upset with myself because I love this liner. So Stila Smudge Stick Waterproof Eyeliner in Vivid Smoky Quartz. I want to repurchase you, but I have a whole bunch of brown eyeliners that I want to get through, but this I'm going to miss. So don't do what I did. Don't wind out your eyeliners to see how much you have left in it if there's any risk of it being a non-retractable. I'm devastated. I'm absolutely devastated. That is... Oh, and I thought 2020 couldn't get any worse. So anyway, another eyeliner. I used up the Benefit Roller Lash Eyeliner. This is a felt tip marker. It was fine. I actually preferred the brown one to the black one. I think the brown color was really nice. It was dark enough to emphasize or define the lash line, but it wasn't so dark that it looked black. And this was fine as well. Sometimes I didn't find that these bled on my eyes at all, which is great because half the eyeliners out there, I don't actually like many sort of felt tip or liquid eyeliners because a lot of them bleed on the inner corners. But I did find that sometimes this dried out a bit and you had to sort of, store it upside down or give it a good shake before you used it. But I used this for ages, so I'm not too upset about it. But yeah, would I repurchase it straight away? Probably not, but if I saw it in a pack or something, I'd probably give it another crack. All right, I feel like I'm almost losing my voice, so I've got to speed this up. My battery's going to go. I used up the Clarins lip oil in the scent Raspberry. This is really grubby because of that Napoleon Purtis stuff leaking all over it. Anyway, I really enjoyed using this. I think you can get cheaper lip oils at in the current market, so you don't need to get Clarins. Back in the day, Clarins was one of the only few brands that did lip oils, so you sort of had to go a little bit bougier. But these days you can sort of get lip oils heaps of places. So I probably wouldn't spend the money on a Clarins one, but it was very nice. The raspberry one was delicious. I really enjoyed using it at night, during the day. It worked well under a mask, gave a nice shiny look to the lips, and it was very nourishing. So I do like it. Used up my Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade 10 Light. I love this concealer. It's always my benchmark for a good concealer. If a concealer isn't as good as this one, it's not worth my time. And I have since repurchased 2 of these because I've seen them 50% off and I picked them up. So I love them. I've been using them for years and I keep going back to them. Oh, I used up a nail product. I think this is the only nail polish. No, I do know for a fact it's the only nail product I've used up this year. It's by Kester Black and it's the Miracle Treatment Base Coat. So I use this under my nail polish, under my gel nail polish, and I sometimes use it alone. So it's got almost like a pearlescent sheen to it. So you can use it alone. It gives your nails a bit of a shine. But what I particularly loved about this was I would like to use a coat of this and then I'd use sort of a normal nail polish or a gel nail polish. Then I'd set that with a gel top coat and for some reason it stuck really well. So I've tried that with other base coats and they don't work as well as this one did. So it's nourishing, it's like treats your nails, but it also holds nail polish really well and it pairs really well with their top coat as well. It's like a supersonic something top coat. This one pairs really well with it. So I like this. I do have another one and I would continue repurchasing it. I'm upset that it's gone. I was trying to get the last possible bit out of it, but you know, yeah, I was squirreling this away because I really do enjoy it. Last things are masks and samples. I'm just going to quickly talk about this mask. So it's from Aceology. And this is the Green Tea Infusion Gel Mask. I really like these. These are bougie masks, but they're a beautiful gel. There's a 2-piece, so you have the eye and you have the bottom, so it fits really nicely. It is a cooling gel. You wear it for half an hour, you can wear it longer. What I love about these is they don't drip, they don't fall off. So if you're busy, you can put it on, you can do the housework, you can do whatever, and it won't fall off. And it's nice cooling, it does hydrate, it does plump the skin. I really like these. I have tried the rose one earlier in the year. I really liked that. So compared to something like this one, which is the, I never know how to pronounce this, that brand there, this was just a sheet mask that just had dripping liquid and I don't feel like I got anywhere near the results of this with this. So if I use up all my masks, which I won't do anytime soon because I have heaps of masks, I would consider just repurchasing these because I think these are really, really nice quality and again, fit into my daily routine really well. With this one, you have to sort of like lie down or sit down and make sure it doesn't like drip and fall everywhere. This, you can just go on with your morning, have the mask on and then like feel fresh and radiant and awesome afterwards. So I would recommend this if you're feeling quite tired or if you have something on that day and you want your skin to look really nice and plump and glowing. I really like Aceology. I think they do great masks. I've got some sort of sachets and samples. I don't care, whatever. They're not really worth talking about. I got a little La Roche-Posay Anthelios XL SPF 50+ sunscreen. I just use this because I can. I've used the full ones before. I like them. They're very runny, very thin, but good SPF protection. So I would repurchase that. Bioderma, this is the Adaderm cream. It's just a basic cream. We use them a lot in our household, mainly for the body. So yeah, would repurchase that. And then also the Mario Badescu Botanical Exfoliating Scrub. It was okay. It wasn't amazing. I didn't dislike it. I didn't like go, this is the most amazing scrub in the world. But I do quite like Mario Badescu and they're quite affordable for what they are. So yeah, I would probably check out more things like that from their range. All right, time for the fun part, which is the recap of how many products I used up in 2020, including these products here. Now, I do want to clarify a couple of things. This number is not going to be 100% accurate. Firstly, I didn't include things like sachet samples or really small samples. I tried to only include full-size products, travel-size products, or deluxe-size products. So if they're like this, for example, is a primer. It's not the full size, but it is a fairly big size. So I included that kind of thing. Also, I scrapped things like makeup wipes or baby wipes. This is something that I just finished as well. So count this as an empty. Huggies wipes. I would repurchase these. I like them. Let's put them in my empties thing, whatever, that's done. I didn't include those because they're kind of boring. I didn't include things like occasionally I talked about vitamins. Occasionally I talked about like deodorants if they were interesting. I have mentioned sort of like hand washes and a few things in here, but again, it's not the extent of it. So I think I've only got a couple of hand washes that it says I've used, but I use refills and top up bottles in my bathroom and my kitchen. So I've gone through a lot this year, especially with the pandemic, but I haven't counted them as empties. Another thing that I didn't really count was face masks or sheet masks, because I was going to do a dedicated video to using up like 50 sheet masks and doing like a rundown, like quick fire review. And I started doing that, I think in March, but then I had my baby and I just let it go. But I saved all these sheet masks, including the rose version of this one, Aceology. I took photos of me wearing them all. I wrote a little like blurb to myself about how I felt about it at the time, and I put them all to the side, and I was like, I'm just going to save these for a video. And then when I was moving my desk, I was like, am I going to do this video anytime soon? I'm like, no, I'm not going to. So I just chucked them all. So it was probably about 30 sheet masks that I just did not count. So this is definitely not the exact number. It's actually a low ball of the products I used up, but it is what it is. All right, so I went through all my past videos, looked at the description box and tallied it all up. So in total, I've used around 167 products. So again, full size, travel size, deluxe size products. Now let's break them down. I used 8 cleansers. I used 2 cleansing oils, 4 micellar waters, 5 face scrubs, 19 serums. Now, if you have been following me throughout the year, you'll know that since I did have a baby, I've been using serums that I don't love on my body. So when I would come across a serum, I sort of cleaned out my bathroom a couple of times, and when I would find a product that is sort of getting old and I don't love it, I would use it on my body. So I used up a lot of serums. I used up 2 face oils, 12 moisturizers. That's a lot. That's just face moisturizers. 1 eye cream, 6 masks. So one was, I think, a tub, and the rest were sheet masks. But again, that is really, really lowballing it, because I probably chucked out 20 to 30 of them from that when I was going to do that dedicated video. Then I used up 1 sunscreen. I actually have probably about 3 of them open at the moment, so that's probably why I only used up 1. 1 spot treatment for breakouts, 1 lip scrub, 14 body lotions, 6 body oils. So again, that is an indication that when I was pregnant, I was like lathering on the body lotion. 2 hand washes. So again, that is lowballing it because I've used up a lot of refills. 4 hand creams, 1 foot cream, 3 shower gels. I currently have in my shower, I think 3 shower gels and 1 next to my bath. So I sort of have a lot open at any one time. 7 body scrubs, 1 perfume, 5 candles. I think they were pretty much all Glass House, except for maybe a Circa Homes one. 2 shampoos, 1 conditioner. Doesn't sound right. I don't know if that's accurate. I feel like I just haven't counted some. 5 dry shampoos, 1 nail product, which was that base treatment from Kester Black, 6 primers, 6 foundations or BB creams, which is really strange because I struggled with that Hourglass one and that BB cream for the longest time. All year I've been struggling with it, but around that, I somehow have been managing to finish other ones. So there's that. 4 concealers, 5 powders, 1 bronzer, 0 blushes, except I do have my blush palette that's currently in my project pan, and in that I used 3 blushes, I think it was, and 2 highlighters. I also used up 1 other highlighter, which was a liquid, I believe. No eyeshadow primers, 3 eyeshadows. 1 was actually a powder, 2 were stick. So there we go. 3 eyeliners, including that broken one. That's a shame. 3 mascaras, 2 sets of false lashes. Again, I think that's really, really lowballing it. I probably go through a set of lashes once a month, once every 6 weeks. I definitely have been using less lashes this year because, you know, pandemic, not going out as much, not filming as much with the baby, and when we were filming beauty news, when we're doing them via Zoom, I didn't wear lashes, but that's still really lowballing it. I think I recycle lashes or reuse them as much as possible, but I use more than 2, that's for sure. I use 1 lash glue, 7 brow products, mainly pencils, 3 lip balms, 2 lip glosses, 0 lipsticks, 1 lip liner, 3 finishing sprays, and 3 brush cleaners. So that is everything I used up this year. plus more that I haven't talked about. But I think that's a good amount. I think I did a lot more in 2019, but you know, it's been a challenging year for multiple reasons. So I think that's pretty good under the circumstances. So that's calling it quits because my battery is flashing. I'm gonna go. And the next video should be either my yearly favorites or my Project Pan finale where I recap the Project Pan products. So yeah, hopefully everyone has had a safe holiday season, Christmas, New Year's, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.